This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and by popular demand, here it is, another Smackdown. This time we have Microsoft Surface Pro 3 running Windows 8.1 full PC and a tablet, and here we have the Samsung Galaxy Note Pro 12.2. Both have pens, both have 12-inch displays, both can be your mobile office and your entertainment center too. We're going to look at them now. So here we have two tablets, the same yet really, really different. Surface Pro 3 here, made by Microsoft. This runs full Windows 8.1 64-bit. This is a full PC inside of here. Anything you can do on any other laptop or Ultrabook, you can do on this. Here we have the Samsung Galaxy Note Pro 12.2. A lot of words in that name, but what it is Samsung's biggest flagship Android tablet running Android KitKat 4.4, and both of them have a pen. Now, our Surface Pro uses an N-Trig pen right here, kind of full-size metal, very nice. And the Samsung has a Wacom pen. But if you followed our Windows things, you know that Wacom versus N-Trig, there are some issues with it. Not so, because this runs Android, different operating system. Both pen types, Wacom and N-Trig, are supported pretty well, but Samsung does do a great job with the pen. So here's the built-in silo to hold the pen. A very skinny little thing, but you can use aftermarket pens. You can use Wacom's own Bamboo Feel pen, for example, if you want something larger, but you can tuck it right inside there. With the Microsoft Surface Pro 3, there is no silo for the pen because the device is so thin, there really isn't room for a silo for a pen that thick. Now, how about thickness of the tablets? As we're talking about, the Samsung is a bit thinner, 0.32 inches. The Surface Pro 3 is remarkably thin, actually, given that it's a full PC, and they've slimmed it down from the previous generations, but it's still about 0.36 inches, so it's a little bit thicker. It's actually surprising how close they are, considering full PC with fan in here and Android with a mobile CPU inside on this one. Both weigh around the same, about 1 3/4 pounds, so you're looking at the same thing there. The Surface Pro 3 has that nice metal magnesium build to it, so it feels real classy. It is metal, and it has the neat built-in kickstand here, so you can put it like so. You can even kind of lay it like that flat on a table. Pretty nice stuff. And again, you can watch our full reviews of each of these products if you want to learn all the facts and features about each of them. The Samsung is typical of Samsung, genuine plastic here. It has a kind of faux leather back on it. You can see it picks up fingerprints a little bit, but it's not bad looking considering the fact it's plastic, and that's how Samsung makes it, well, a bit lighter compared to a metal back, and probably a little bit thinner too. Both of these have the internals sealed inside, the battery and everything else. They're not upgradable. If you need to have the battery replaced, you really need to send it back to the factory. Happily, with both of these lithium-ion batteries, the modern ones, they go for years before you have to worry about really degraded battery life. So what's the real important difference between these two? And this is, shall we say, a double-edged sword. So with our Samsung tablet, it's Android, so there are limitations compared to a full PC, be it Linux, Mac OS, or Windows. It's pretty darn powerful. You can do a lot of things. You got web browsing here, you have social networking, video playback, right up to full HD video playback. Mobile office suites are available for this, but it is a mobile OS. Now, what's good about that is it's also lower maintenance, and applications tend to cost less too. You know what Windows programs cost, full PC programs, the cost of Office, that sort of thing. An Office suite on Android tends to cost around $25 or so. Now, this actually comes with the very capable Handcom Office built in, which is the best Office suite available for Android right now, so you don't even have to buy it. But you get the idea. So, whereas Android apps cost from $5 to $10 off, and a few of them, like Office suites being the more expensive, are $25, that's about it. With Windows, Photoshop is going to hit you for $300 to $600, depending on what kind of version you get and whether you're getting an upgrade or a full version, so you know. Also with Android, despite what some link-happy journalist sites might tell you and antivirus companies, there really aren't a lot of viruses for Android. As long as you stay away from porn sites and Juarez sites, then you're probably not going to get a virus. So less to worry about here in terms of maintenance. Firmware updates come over the air every so often for free. You install them, it's pretty easy. Other than that, there's not much maintenance. Pretty hard to really trash the OS. If you ever do, you just hit the hard reset button, you wipe it out completely and start from fresh. Windows here, you know the story. Windows 8 is very robust and very reliable, but you still have to worry about things like viruses and Windows updates that come a lot more often than Android OS updates. keeping your programs up to date, all that sort of thing. So you get the idea. So you get a lot more power here. This can do anything a PC can do, but at the same time it requires more care and feeding. So it really depends on what you want. If you need to run full Photoshop and not a mobile version of Photoshop, which does much less, for example, then you want a full PC. If you're fine with the mobile counterparts that are available on Android for image editing, social networking, blogging, all that sort of thing, well then Android's fine. If you're looking for a gift to give your mom or grandma, for example, and mom or grandma or grandpa is not really the best with computers, probably Android is better because, well, it's less maintenance, less chances of screwing things up. Now, while we're talking about applications, both of these come with note-taking applications. It's OneNote primarily, probably most people's go-to application for the Surface Pro 3, and there's OneNote, the Metro application, and there's the desktop version, and the little pen, if you click it, actually launches OneNote using Bluetooth, and you can tell it to either launch the Metro version or the full version. You can get both of those for free with this, so that's pretty nice. Pen works absolutely great. There's pressure sensitivity, there's palm rejection. My hand is on the glass. Look, I'm still writing, not a problem there. You get the idea. With the Galaxy, obviously you're not going to have Windows programs. There's not going to be, for example, Corel Painter X3. There's not full Photoshop. There's not Manga Studio. But there are some mobile versions of painting programs and note-taking programs that are good. Sure, there is Microsoft has an Android version of OneNote available. Not quite exactly at all like the experience that you get on Windows. But you can see I have Papyrus for note-taking right here. Infinite Painter is a pretty good painting and drawing program. Sketchbook, Alias Sketchbook for Galaxy. Some good programs for art. Like I said, the built-in Samsung note-taking application is quite good. Evernote now supports the pen as well. So, difference in the art programs, if you're somebody who's pretty serious about art and you have your favorite Windows or even macOS cross-platform programs, you're probably going to want Surface. If you're okay with the options on Android, which aren't quite as capable, but they're not bad, especially if you're more of a sketch artist, then Galaxy is good. For note-taking, they both do the job nicely. When it comes to content consumption kind of things, that's where Android really shines, as does iOS, in fact. There are third-party video players. You get built-in video players here, both Samsung and Google's. Like I said, you can play full HD video on this guy. You can go higher than full HD if you have the LTE version with the Snapdragon. The Exynos pretty much is full HD for playback. And, of course, our Surface Pro 3, being full Windows, can handle anything up to 4K video playback just fine. When it comes to the screens, they are both lovely screens. They both have nice, pleasing color gamut. Both support touch, obviously, both support the pen. 2160 by 1440 resolution, 3:2 aspect ratio here for the Surface Pro 3, so it makes it a little bit less awkward for portrait mode. It's not quite as tall and skinny and column-like is the idea. For our Note, we go even higher, 2560 by 1600 resolution, so a little bit higher pixel density. But honestly, both of them are quite high enough, so I don't think anybody's going to say, wow, one looks so much sharper than the other. They honestly look both nice, very nice there. When it comes to ports, you know, Windows is Windows, so you get full USB 3.0 port in here. You only get one USB port on this guy, but it's a 3.0 port. No funny adapters or anything like that required. We also have a mini display port right here. So, like a PC in that respect, and of course there's a 3.5 millimeter audio jack. For our Samsung, you'll have to use a USB host adapter to use USB peripherals. And it's Android. It doesn't have the driver library that Windows has, for example. So you can use things like game controllers, keyboards, mice, flash drives, hard drives, if this can provide enough power for it. Some of those self-powered portable hard drives draw too much power. Some of them do work. External powered hard drives do work. LTE, 4G dongles, no, not so much. So, yeah. Both have micro SD card slots. This, of course, has a 3.5 millimeter audio jack as well. Both of them support wireless display, so you can basically share the screen with a compatible TV, or if you've got an adapter, you can send your display content wirelessly to TV, projector, what have you. So how about productivity? Because, well, obviously the Note Pro 12.2, it's 12.2 inches. It's a pretty powerful device. Android has some good applications. Handcom Office, like I said, great Office suite. You need a keyboard, don't you? So with Surface Pro, you know the deal. It has the type cover. This is the one for the Surface Pro 3 right here. Backlit keys, really remarkably good for what it is. $130 is not included in the price of the tablet. acts as a cover. You get the idea. So Microsoft makes that. Comes in a couple of different colors. Nifty. Not a bad keyboard at all. Moving, clicky keys. This is not the touch keyboard. So with Samsung, there are third-party keyboards. The best one, I would say, is the also $130 Logitech keyboard case right here. Nice, discrete keys, good key travel, great typing experience. I'd say it's a little bit better than Surface Pro 3, actually, in terms of typing experience. No backlighting here, though. So that's your option for productivity. This obviously wraps around the tablet, becomes a case as well. You get the idea. So there are options for both of these for portable, take them with you keyboards. Of course, with either of these, you could use an external full-size Bluetooth keyboard if you wanted, and even a USB keyboard, though I suspect most people are going to go with the wireless option. So how about cost? When the Note Pro 12.2 came out, it was $749 for the 32 gig and $849 for the 64 gig. Shockingly expensive for an Android tablet, yeah? Well, these days Samsung is dropping the price about $100. Is it a sale? Is it a permanent sale? Who knows? So right now, as of this video, it's $649 and $749. Surface Pro 3 starts at $799. That's not including the keyboard. And that's for the Core i3 with 64 gigs, which actually isn't shipping just yet. Right now, the Core i5 models are shipping, and they start at $999. So a bit more money, but a lot more power, obviously, inside in terms of computational power, in terms of the applications you can run. Again, with the drawback being more maintenance for Windows and more expensive traditional desktop programs. For battery life, as you might guess, the mobile product is going to do better. Now, Samsung claims real high battery run times, 10 hours to 13 hours. After, this is my personal tablet, and I've had it for a couple of months. After all the software that's loaded on there, and little things that run in the background and take up some of your battery life, I've managed around 9 to 10 hours or so of actual use time, which isn't too bad. And that's what brightness set to 50%. Brightness set to 50% on my Surface Pro 3. I'm more like 6.5. Now, you could increase power management settings and get this to 7, maybe 7.5 as well, but you're still going to get a bit more runtime out of the Samsung. The Wi-Fi only Samsung model, it uses the Exynos CPU. It does not have fast charging. Takes forever to charge. It's got a nice big battery in there, but it takes a long time to charge. The Surface Pro 3 is a pretty quick machine to charge, so for those of you who need to top up on the go, keep that in mind. Now, if you get the LTE version with the Snapdragon 800 of the Samsung, that does support fast charging, so it will charge more quickly. Speaking of LTE, obviously there is LTE option for the Samsung. There is not for the Surface Pro 3. It's a Wi-Fi only device. Both of these have Wi-Fi 802.11, BGN, NAC, and Bluetooth. But of course, being Windows, you can just use a 4G LTE dongle with this if you want. You can use a MiFi mobile hotspot with either of these. Say you didn't get the LTE version of the Samsung, or use your smartphone's mobile hotspot feature. You have a GPS in the Samsung. You do not have a GPS in the Surface Pro 3. Mobile OS products tend to get more attention when it comes to the camera department, but Microsoft stepped up their game. We got 5 megapixel cameras on the Surface Pro 3, and they're pretty good. Samsung has 8 megapixel on the rear, 2 in the front. A bit better camera on that. With either of these, they're so large, I'm not sure how much you're going to be taking pictures unless you're using this for a vertical market application, like, say, auto insurance claims or something like that, where you have to take pictures of car damage, that kind of thing. Sound on the Surface Pro 3 is a bit louder. They really did a good job with sound, and a little bit fuller too. But through headphones, both of them sound very good. So really, in the end, what it comes down to is, do you need the full power of Windows and something that really is an Ultrabook in a really neat portable form factor? Or do you want the ease of maintenance of Android, the less expensive apps, all that sort of thing? If you're just using it on the go for MS Office, social networking, Twitter, that sort of thing, your email, this is very, very adequate. If you just want to use it for some sketching, there are some good sketching programs. And note-taking is great on that. If you need more than that, if you need to use serious PC programs, obviously Surface Pro 3 is going to be your machine. So that's our smackdown between Microsoft Surface Pro 3 and the Samsung Galaxy Note 12.2. And as you can see, they're both very capable devices. They're both pretty thin. They're both pretty light. But in the end, it depends. Do you need a full PC, or do you want the ease of use and lack of management concerns of Android? I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. Visit our website for the reviews of both of these. Watch our video reviews and subscribe to our YouTube channel.